Well, hello, everybody. Today we have with us Paul Miller, who may just be the most entertaining guest we've had in talking about the world of COVID and what's going on here in 2020. So, Paul Miller, the Chief Goof Officer, I believe, in addition to being president and chief bottle washer and everything else, Paul, at both BIRCUS and Ludlow Theatre and everything else you've got going on, and Circus Mojo back in the day, as well as what's going on. So, Paul, thanks for talking with me today.
Thanks for having me, Judge.
You bet. So we have this world of 2020 you've been dealing with, and you're an entrepreneur, you're a community member, lifetime Kenton County. And so first of all, who is Paul Miller? What your quick background, Paul, and what are the organizations you've got there at the Ludlow Theatre?
Well, I moved here when I was 13 from Cleveland, and went to St. Joe's in Crescent Springs and Covington Catholic, and then CCM for theater. And I dropped out of college to join the circus. So I was a clown with the Ringling Brothers back in the 1900s, a long time ago. So I lived in the circus train, and that maybe was great training for 2020. I stopped in giant piles of elephant poop on a regular basis. So maybe there's a different immunity with circus folks. Who knows? I mean, we haven't been tested yet. But I did 10 years in Chicago, putting together some really neat circus projects there, one called Circus Theme. And 11 years ago, we bought this old movie theater in Ludlow, Kentucky. And it was a perfect building. It was zoned entertainment, had 20-foot ceilings, level floors, and three-phase electric. So we could run our brewery and our theatrical lighting. So it's been quite an adventure, Judge, here back in Kenton County.
Well, and you've been fighting every day. As an entrepreneur and investing in the community. You've got, you're making beer there in Ludlow, right? You've been working in Circus Mojo, which really you've got a lot of things going on. But talk about COVID. So go back to March, April, when things kind of shut down. First of all, what you had to deal with, and then what you've been going through since then.
Well, we really have an extraordinary team. So I don't brew the beer. I will toast all the folks. This is our coffee stout, so it's not too early, Judge.
There you go. Cheers.
But we had 3 tanks full of beer. We had our pie fighter. That's our Pilsner, and that's what they call me. It's sweet and dirty. I've been fighting, but it's been a pie fight. And we brought in a mobile canning group from Cleveland, Ironheart Canning. So they came in and they canned 3 of our beers, and that really allowed us to stay open. So the circus world is upside down. I mean, Ringling Brothers closed maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and all my friends worked with in the circus business. And Cirque du Soleil went bankrupt. So Vegas, there's 4,000 people with Cirque du Soleil that are out of work. So turns out brewing is an essential industry. So we were able to stay open, and we've got a great customer base and a lot of people driving down Route 8. We're right here in the main drag in Ludlow. So we adapted pretty quickly to be able to do curbside, beer to go. And then May rolled around and restaurants could open, but bars and breweries and distilleries weren't allowed to open until July 1. Yep. But we've had a BIRCUS grill. So May 21st, we turned our parking lot into a nice beer garden. And in a time when Wendy's literally ran out of beef. Like, where's the beef? We ended up getting frozen corn dogs. So we would smoke frozen corn dog for 45 minutes. So we had corn, gluten-free kosher hot dogs, and corn dogs. So we had cornless dog, dogless corn, and corn dog. So it's been crazy. I mean, we secured some PPP money with some help from the bank and some politicians. Bob Porter's from Congressman Massey's office reached out to me early and said, hey, we want to make sure you're in line for this. So we didn't lay anybody off this year. And it's hard to believe, but we hit our 2019 numbers in October. So we're actually, we've done better this year because we're 1 part theater. So that's the big top. Circus Mojo is the draw. But the guys from Ringling, they make $9 selling a 3-cent box of popcorn. The box costs 2 cents and the popcorn costs 1 cent. So BIRCUS is like the kind of concessions arm, if you will.
Yeah.
And we just added wood fire pizza about a month ago. So my good friend Michael Cusimano, who went to Covington Catholic with me, he has been cooking in Italy for 25 years. And when Italy shut down, this restaurant group flew him to DC. When DC shut down, he went to work in Miami. But all the restaurants are shut down. So we've got this incredible, Italian chef making wood-fired pizzas, and that has really helped our numbers too. So it's a weird, beer to go, pizza and beer to go. It's a little bit stronger. So it's maybe the contortionist in us that we can be flexible and try and make things work.
Well, you've always been very positive about all challenges, but this is unique. I mean, nobody's ever seen a year like this, right? But you've got a family to feed and employees to pay, and they've got the same thing going on. So you've got to, I mean, you spoke about the team you've got there who are just trying to keep body and soul together, but you've got some neat things. And of course, behind you, you've got shows that'll be eventually, hopefully open back up that you can bring more people in and do all those things to partake in all the great things going on in Ludlow. So, speak to that as well. What's going on inside the theater, and then what's going on up and down the street? Because really, Ludlow's got an amazing vibe.
It really, it's cool because 100 plus years ago, 3 people put up money to create the Cincinnati streetcar line. So there was a wealthy guy in Newport, a wealthy guy in Covington, and a wealthy guy in Cincinnati. And they were trying to put this streetcar line together. And everybody said, hey, this is a horse and buggy town. No one's going to ride your streetcar. And they were kind of right. So this guy looked at all their projections, and no one was riding the streetcar on the weekend. So that's why they built the Ludlow Lagoon in like 1895 or something. And these 3 investors forced Covington and Ludlow to build Highway Avenue or Route 8 so that the streetcar could run out of the plain to the river because their road would get washed out a lot. So the Ludlow Lagoon was the 2nd largest amusement park in the world. And circus artists from around the world performed here from 1895 to 1917. So all of our beers are tied to the history of Ludlow. So like I'm drinking the Kilpatrick's one-legged dry Irish stout. So this guy's got a Wikipedia page. He rode his bicycle up and down the steps of the U.S. Capitol like way back when, and he performed at Madison Square Garden, and then he performed in Ludlow, Kentucky. So we're really embracing the history of Ludlow and trying to emulate that destination creation. And we've hosted artists from 40 different countries in the past 11 years here to Ludlow, and that's really the human capital or the creative class. And now we've got more art galleries and tattoo parlors. I mean, we got great tattoo parlors, okay? I mean, they're really, Brian and I think Jason, the guys that own them, the Dollhouse, but it's cool because we have so much going on. A new coffee shop, an ice cream parlor, the parlor across the street, Second Sight Spirits, and amazingly, these guys used to build props for Cirque du Soleil, so they've been distilling rum, and now they're making bourbon right here in Ludlow, so there's a lot going on. Like Insurify, this group from MIT, they do a lot of insurance underwriting. They found the hottest real estate markets in 48 of the 50 states from 2010 to 2020. And Ludlow, Kentucky is the hottest real estate market in the whole Commonwealth. And that's exciting. And that's because of, I believe, great, city leadership. I mean, we've had our ups and downs, but also all these creative people coming to town. And it's really hot. It's exciting. So we are showing It's a Wonderful Life here at the Historical Theater this Saturday and Sunday night, and next Saturday and Sunday night after Christmas. So the building we have is a 364 person capacity, and we're limiting it to 100 seats. So we're like about less than a third, but that's how we can socially distance and spread people out and, check the temperatures and wear the masks and sell some pizza and sell some beer. So, Ludlow is a neat place to be. It is really grassroots, blue collar or no collar, like there's white collar, there's blue collar artists, we have with no collar. So it's a really unique place to be.
Well, you've just encapsulated all the excitement and energy, what's going on in Ludlow. And you think about the businesses you've talked about and the creative class. I love that. And then talk about people who've been there forever, who continue to invest in their homes. And then those who have come into the community investing in homes, to your point about the real estate market. Pretty exciting stuff. Well, let me ask you this. If there was one thing you would hope that the rest of the community, and especially those watching this, would say to learn about Ludlow and what it's like to be an entrepreneur there in Ludlow today, what would it be?
Well, I think it's one thing to learn. I think there's got to be like determination, and that really strikes to the people that lived in Ludlow for a long time. I mean, a lot of folks in Ludlow, I think in the 70s, 80s kind of moved out up to the hill to the new developments in Villa Hills and Fort Wright, Fort Mitchell. And that's neat because they have many generations that have lived in Ludlow, so they're like cheering us on in a lot of ways, and that's cool. Like my buddy Rick Robinson, who's an author, so I've read all his books, and I learned a lot about Ludlow through reading Rick's books, and that's cool. And then the people that have been here for a long time, at first were scratching their head like, the circus, what's that all about? You know, because we did a lot of youth work for a long time.
Yep.
And we took 12 kids from Ludlow, you know, to their first time to cross the river into Ohio, you know, and 5 of them to Germany for a 3-week circus tour. So, you know, that's a neat piece of the puzzle here. You know, you have to work hard in any town that you're going to be at, but, you know, and the things are going to be cyclical, but the residents that have been in Ludlow for a long time, you know, they've seen ups and downs, and now there's a lot of upside. So there's a determined spirit in town, and I think that's what, you know, entrepreneurs kind of need, and businesses, whether it's a bank or a brewery or a childcare center, anything like that. You know, you just gotta you know, I got my props. You gotta keep juggling. You know, you gotta keep juggling, and then when it goes south, okay, you gotta take it. You gotta take it there. You know, sometimes you got to take it on the chin. All right. And you got to keep it in balance. Ready? Okay. All right. So we say Budweiser's got Clydesdales, and we got circus freaks here at the BIRCUS Brewing Company. So
love it.
How about that, Judge? It's hard to encapsulate that, but it's a 3-ring circus, you know?
Fair. Well, you said determination, keep on juggling, keep on dancing, and keep on pushing forward, right?
That's right, sir.
You're doing a great job. Paul, thanks for the time. Best of luck, and we'll see you there watching my favorite movie of all time, It's a Wonderful Life. Good to see you, buddy.
Well, you can get the tickets at bircus.com. So we're limiting. They're $5. They're cheap. You know, if you want to have a beer and a pizza, that's fantastic. But get your tickets because we're likely to be selling out.
Very good. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you. Cheers. Cheers, Kenton County.